Dear students, welcome to English class. I am very much thankful to Ramakrishna Mission Sikshanamandira Praktani Association as well as Ramakrishna Mission Sikshanamandira for providing us such a grand opportunity to continue the teaching learning process during this pandemic situation. I am Sukumar Mukhopadhyay. This is going to be my first class with you. In the very beginning, I like to discuss the origin of the very word English. Earlier, there was not at all any existence of English. At that time, there was a country named Britain. It was 410 AD. Three Teutonic races, Angles, Saxons and Jute, invaded Britain and subsequently they conquered it. In the very beginning, as a mark of their victory, they tried to change the name of that particular land. Angles were comparatively more powerful than the other two races. So according to their name, they got the name England. Britain was renamed as England. But it was started to be mispronounced by the common people. Then it was called Angloland, Anglaland, England, and then England. That was how the country England came into existence. And the language of England started to be known as English. We are going to discuss this very subject in the light of this language. I am also thankful to YouTube channel to our friend Shokhar Prati for broadcasting this class for the welfare of the students who cannot assemble in the schools or their educational institutions due to such a situation. Now, I am going to discuss how this particular language, English, came to India and a non-English country. You know, India was under the subjugation of the British for almost 200 years. When the British started to make India a colony, they wanted to create a type of people according to Macaulay, who would be Indian in blood and color, but British in their taste, opinion, manner and intellect. They wanted to continue their hegemony with the help of such Indian people. Gradually, the Indians started to think that they must learn English in order to get a prestigious job in their own country. Gradually, the British culture, I'd rather say the English culture, started to be spread throughout the world in different forms. And English language became very much essential to make oneself established. Kothari Commission designated English as library language. It was said that it is the gateway to enter into the vast domain of different knowledge. So, you have to learn English in order to gather more and more knowledge in various types of streams. It is called an official language. Different official words are executed with the help of this language. It is the language of global economy. If you want to understand economics properly, You have to know English. Sometimes it is called to foster, nourish international brotherhood. If you go to foreign land, English becomes a medium to communicate with different types of people. Very pertinently, very properly, English has become lingua franca or language for all. So, you have to learn English in order to be a scholar, in order to be a professional personality, or to live properly in this world at any place. Now I am going to discuss the syllabus. The syllabus of English for class 10, Madhyamik examination, is a very interesting one. It is an assemblage of reading comprehension, grammar and vocabulary, writing skill. Reading comprehension is divided into two sections, seen and unseen. There is a textbook called Bliss. Seen comes from this book. There are 8 chapters and you have to prepare all these chapters properly in order to answer the questions from seen. From scenes, 20 marks are allotted. 2 scenes are referred in a question paper, in a 90 marks question paper. One from prose, another from poetry. From prose, 12 marks are allotted. First 5 marks are from multiple choice questions, MCQ. Just look at this. MCQ 5 into 5 is equal to 5. Next 1B, complete the following sentences with proper information from the text. 1 into 3 is equal to 3. And next 1C, either true or false with supporting statement or sentence or expression, or cause-effect chart, or short questions, each carrying 2 marks. 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So 5 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 12. Next, item number 2, seen from poetry. First 2A, 4 multiple choice questions are there. 4 into 1 is equal to 4. Next, 2 short question. 2 into 2 is equal to 4, or cause-effect chart, or true false with supporting statement. 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. In order to be successful in this part, you have to go through scene properly. You have to emphasize on the meaning and application of every word, and then you can get total marks, and it is very much easier, of course. Now unseen. Unseen comes from newspaper, and different types of newspapers are referred. You have to practice different words from different newspapers. One passage is given, and then there are 6 multiple choice questions. Look at the structural pattern from unseen. 6 into 1 is equal to 6. 3A, next 3B, true or false. 3 sentences are there to refer true or false with supporting statement. 3 into 2 is equal to 6. Next, 4 short question. 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So, from unseen, 20 marks are allotted. 6, 6 and 8. Next, section B, grammar and vocabulary. You get here item number 4, fill in the blanks with proper form of the verbs, and it is in MCQ style. I mean, the options will be there and you have to choose the most correct option from the given options. Next, item number 5A, fill in the blanks with appropriate articles and prepositions. 1 into 3 is equal to 3. Before it, in item number 4, it was also 1 into 3 is equal to 3. Next, item number 5B, do as directed. Voice change, narration change, transformation of sentences, joining, splitting, etc. may be there. There will also be 3 items. 1 into 3 is equal to 3. Next, 5C, phrasal verbs. You have to replace different verbs with appropriate phrasal verbs in their proper form. Here also 1 into 3 is equal to 3. You have to use it in proper form. If you choose the correct phrasal verb but you do not use it in proper form, you have to deduct 1.5 marks. Next, item number 6, meaning of 4 words from unseen passage. Each word consists of 2 marks. So 4 into 2 is equal to 8. Here also 20 marks are allotted from this section, grammar and vocabulary. So look, from unseen, 28 marks are allotted. 20 marks from unseen portion, 8 marks in vocabulary. Next, writing skill, section C. 3 writings come in the question paper. 3 writings are allotted and you have to attempt 3 writings. 3 into 10 is equal to 30. So this is the division of 90 marks. Dear students, you just look at it. This is the question paper of Madhyamik examination. I have earlier discussed the pattern of the questions. This is the front page. Then such pages are there and the blanks are there to write down the answers. You have to maintain your answers properly according to such blanks. Otherwise, if there is any wrong answer, the place will be dirty to accommodate the correct answer, or you have to write it in some other places. In writing also, there are particular spaces and it is intended that you will use these places properly. So this is about question paper. Now I am just reminding you a particular story from class 9 textbook. Tom loses a tooth. You must remind that there is a short story. Tom loses a tooth. And the very first line of it, Tom finds Monday miserable. As Monday begins another week's slow suffering of school, Tom rises from his bed and starts to think, এই রে আবার সোমবার এসে গেছে, আবার স্কুল যেতে হবে, আবার সেই প্রচন্ড একটা বার্ডেন শুরু হয়ে গেল। অর্থাৎ কোথাও যেন সে স্কুলটাকে স্কিপ করতে চায়। আমরা ওখানে পেয়েছি একজন মহিলাকে, আন্ট পলি, যিনি কিনা ভীষণভাবে চেষ্টা করছেন তাকে ভালোভাবে মানুষ করতে, সঠিকভাবে তাকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে আসতে। এবং পরবর্তীকালে তিনি তাকে বুঝিয়ে দেন যে টম তার শরীর অসুস্থতার যে ভান করছিল স্কুলকে স্কিপ করবে বলে, তিনি তাকে বুঝিয়ে দেন এরকম করা উচিত নয়, এতে পরিবারের লোকেরা ভীষণ পরিমাণে সমস্যায় পরিপূর্ণ হয়ে যান। It is expected that the realization dawns on Tom. এরকম কখনো কখনো দেখতে পাওয়া যায় যে the students are not at all attentive to their lessons. But sometimes, if they can understand their mistake, they can rectify themselves. I like to refer to another story from CBSE class 12 textbook, Flamingo. Here, the first lesson is the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Look at this, the last lesson. Here we find a student who do not want to go to his class because there is a strict teacher named M. Hamill. He always wants to make the students properly educated. Hence, he uses some strict ways to make them read properly. When this lesson begins, on that day, the two nations, Germany and France, were in war. And M. Hamill has been said to go from that particular land, and the study of English is going to be closed in that land. In the very beginning, we are finding the student telling, I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding, especially because M. Hamill had said that he would question us on participles, and I did not know the first word about them. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. Just look at your Tom in Tom Loses a Tooth in class 9. Look at this student. After that, she enters into the school. He comes to know that the study of English is going to be completed, is going to be ended from that very day, and Mr. M. Hamill will not be there anymore to teach them the lessons. He starts to feel embarrassed. He starts to feel that something empty is coming in his head. M. Hamill is teaching his last lesson. What the student is thinking. Then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood. আজকে খুব মনোযোগীয় লাস্ট লেসন। কোথাও যেন মনে হচ্ছে এতদিন যা করেছি ভুল করেছি, এই ভাবনা চিন্তাটা করে সে ক্লাসটা করছে। আজ মনে হচ্ছে কি সুন্দরভাবে বুঝে যাচ্ছে। অর্থাৎ আমরা যদি আমাদের লেসনকে ভালোবাসি, আমরা যদি আমাদের লেসনকে খুব মনোযোগ সহকারে দেখি, there will be not any problem in understanding. All he said seemed so easy, so easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. It seemed almost as if the poor man, just look at the word, M. Hamill is called poor man. কোথাও যেন মনে হচ্ছে আমাকে বোঝাতে পারেনি, সেই জন্য হতভাগ্য ব্যক্তি। আমরা অন্য একটা লেসনের ক্ষেত্রে দেখবো সমস্ত সময়তেই। তো that poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. Education always means extracting the fullness from everyone, extracting the perfection from everyone. That work has been done by Mr. M. Hamill. M. Hamill is successful to make a realization in the student regarding education. In this context, I like to refer to Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda. In his saying, education and society, he is telling that education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. মানুষের মধ্যে ইতিমধ্যে যে পূর্ণতা রয়েছে তার বিকাশ শিক্ষা। What is education? Swamiji said. Is it book learning? No. Is it diverse knowledge? Not even that. The training by which the current and expression of will are brought under control and become truthful is called education. I mean, education is not imparting knowledge from outside, rather the awakening of the soul. And the teachers do it properly. The teacher awakens the soul of the students. Hence, the teachers are called the mediator, the facilitator, and the communicator of the classroom. Today, I am going to teach you the lesson in the same light. Whatever I have discussed with you regarding education, regarding the way of education, is the theme of our lesson. I am going to start Father Self, lesson 1. Here also, we will find a student, Swaminathan. He also, like Tom in your class 9 textbook, considers Monday to be miserable, because he is also negligent in his studies. There is a teacher named Samuel who is very much strict, like M. Hamill, which I have earlier said. Here Swaminathan is just pretending to have a headache. His mother is a very generous woman. She allows Swaminathan to take rest for the day. But his father is a strict person. He compels Swaminathan to go to school. This time, Swaminathan informs him that there is a teacher named Samuel who always scolds the students. Swaminathan's father asks him whether the students have informed it to the headmaster, and Swaminathan informs that the headmaster himself is afraid of that teacher. His father composes a letter, possibly complaining against the teacher. Swami takes this letter and goes to school. On his way, he stood beside the road and starts to think whether he has told everything properly to his father or not. This time, his conscience bothers him. He realizes that he has not given the true information to his father. Now, his conscience bothers him constantly. He is late in the classroom when the teacher Samuel asks him regarding his slate. He once again offers the excuse headache. Now the teacher asks him why he has come to school in spite of being ill. Swaminathan refers that his father has instigated him to come. The teacher praises his father, but in his mind, Swaminathan realizes that his father has done a harmful work on the teacher Samuel. He wants that Samuel should scold him, so that later complaining against him will be partially true. But the teacher cannot scold him because of his supposed illness. At the last period, when Swaminathan goes to the room of the headmaster to hand him the letter written by his father, he finds that the room of the headmaster is locked. Headmaster is not there. And he heaves a sigh of relief, comes back to the house, gives the letter to his father. His father just tears it up. Just look at this picture. Here, this is about the theme of Father Self. So first picture, come to the first picture. Here you find that the boy Swaminathan is just lying in his mother's room. His father comes there and starts to scold him. Now in the second picture, look at this. Swami is going to school, but he cannot go to school in a speedy way. Now Swami is in schoolroom. Just on the entrance, the teacher, Mr. Samuel, asks him the reason. Samuel tells him a lie, and then in the class, Samuel is inspecting the home lessons minutely. The students are there, and Swaminathan is thinking that how well he is. What a misfortune it is to complain against such a good teacher. Swaminathan's mind becomes full of sorrow. So these four pictures. The first picture, Swaminathan reluctant to go to school, but his father scolds him totally. Now Swaminathan is compelled to go to school, but time and again he stops to think whether he is going to make the proper work to hand over the letter of complaint to the headmaster or not. Next, in the entrance and in the classroom. So the true realization dawns on Swaminathan this time. In the very beginning of going through the text, we will know about R.K.Narayan, the author of this text. The full name of R.K.Narayan is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan. He was a South Indian writer. He has based himself on South Indian society, but his compositions have a universal appeal. Whatever he has written has a great universal value. If we go through the guide, we can understand that it is the language of every place, irrespective of the country and the place. He is noted for his grand narrative skill, simple and unpretentious literary style, humor and compassion. His language is very lucid, but it has a very great mark on the readers. If we go through this story, further said, we can understand that it is a journey from negligence via confusion to realization. Negligence, confusion, then realization. Now about the text. Come to your textbook, lesson 1, page number 1. R.K.Narayan, 1906 to 2001, is one of the leading figures of early Indian literature in English. His notable works include Malgudi Days and The Guide. He was awarded Sahitya Academy Award in 1958 for The Guide. The story. An edited excerpt. It is not the total story written by R.K.Narayan, but it is an edited excerpt from Malgudi Days. Is about a young boy called Swaminathan, who is unwilling to go to school, but is forced by his father to attend school. The story explores how, through the events that follow, Swami's original reservations about his teacher Samuel get transformed considerably. Now, Unit 1. Lying in bed. Swaminathan is lying in bed. Swami realized with a shudder that shudder means sudden trembling. It was Monday morning. যেন কেঁপে উঠলো, ইরি আজকে সোমবার তো। It looked যেন মনে হচ্ছিল এই কদিন আগে শুক্রবার এলো, শনিবার এলো, তারপরে রবিবারটা কি আনন্দে তাড়াতাড়ি কেটে গেল। It looked as though only a moment ago it was Friday. Already Monday was here. He hoped he didn't have to go to school. At 9 o'clock, Swaminathan wailed, I have a headache. Mother generously, kindly suggested that Swami might stay at home. At 9:30, when he ought to have been in the school prayer hall, Swami was lying on the bench in his mother's room, as I have earlier pointed out. Mother's room. Father asked him, have you no school today? Headache, Swami replied. Nonsense. Dress up and go. Headache. Lope about less. Lope means going to and fro aimlessly. উদ্দেশ্যহীন ভাবে ঘোরাঘুরি করা। যারা করে তাদেরকে লোফার বলা হয়, LOAFER. About less on Sundays. And you will be without a headache on Monday. Swami knew how strict his father could be. So he changed his tactics. I can't go so late to the class. You will have to, it is your own fault. What will the teacher think if I go so late? Tell him you had a headache and so you were late. He will scold me if I say so. Will he? Let us see. What is his name? Samuel. Does he always scold the students? He is a very angry man. He is especially angry with boys who come in late. I wouldn't like to go so late to Samuel's class. If he is so angry, why not tell your headmaster about it? They say that even the headmaster is afraid of him. Look at this. Shudder means shaking of body caused by fear, and lope means move around in an idle manner. If you understand this scene properly, there will be not any problem of answering the questions. For example, if you go through the first question, with a shudder, Swami realized that it was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Monday. What should be the answer? You must realize it is Monday. Next, when Swami ought to have been in the school prayer hall, he was lying on the bench, table, bed, desk. You must understand it. Next, if we go through, fill in the chart from the information from the text. Time when Swami complained of a headache, we have to write the time. If we go to the first page, we can get that it is 9 o'clock in the morning. Next, true false with supporting statement. Supporting statement means the particular expression, it may not be the total sentence from the text, which supports whether a particular sentence is true or false. For example, the first one, Swami said that he had a headache. It is true. Supporting statement. At 9 o'clock, Swami wailed, I have a headache. You may write it, or you may write it, Swaminathan wailed, I have a headache. The total expression will be within double quotation. Next, come to Unit 2. Page number 4. Swami hoped, ভাবলো বাবাকে তো এত কিছু বলা হলো, নিশ্চয়ই বাবাকে বোঝাতে পারা গেছে. Swami hoped that with this his father would be made to see why he must avoid school for the day. But father's behavior took an unexpected turn. He proposed to send a letter with Swami to the headmaster. No amount of protest from Swami would make him change his mind. উনি বললেন দাঁড়া একটা চিঠি লিখে দিচ্ছি। ছাত্রছাত্রীদের এরকম বকাবকি করা। তো স্বামী অনেক প্রতিবাদ করলো কিন্তু কোনো ফল হলো না। By the time Swami was ready to leave for school, father had composed a long letter to the headmaster. He put it in an envelope and sealed it. What have you written, father? Swami asked apprehensively. Apprehensively means in a manner which expresses worry that something unpleasant may happen. Baba, চিঠিতে কি লিখলে? Nothing for you. Give it to your headmaster and go to your class. Have you written anything about our teacher Samuel? Yes, plenty of things. What has he done, father? Everything is there in the letter. Give it to your headmaster. Swami went to school feeling that he was the worst boy on earth. His conscience bothered him. Conscience মানে বিবেক। bothered মানে তাকে আঘাত করতে থাকলো যে একজন ভালো টিচার তার নামে জাতা বলে একটা চিঠি লিখিয়ে নেওয়া হলো। She wasn't at all sure, সে নিশ্চিত ছিল না if his description of Samuel had been accurate. He felt he had mixed up the real and the imagined. He stopped on the roadside. রাস্তার ধারেতে দাঁড়ালো। He stopped on the roadside to make up his mind about Samuel. Samuel was not such a bad man after all. Personally, he was much more friendly than the other teachers. Swami also felt Samuel had a special regard for him. স্বামী ভাবলো এই টিচার বরং অন্যদের থেকে ভালো ভালো পড়ান, আমাকেও যথেষ্ট ভালোবাসেন। স্বামী said was dizzy, মাথাটা যেন ঘুরছে। ডিজি মানে ইমব্যালেন্সড, ভারসাম্যহীন and undecided, কি করবে না করবে ভেবে না পাওয়া। স্টেট অফ মাইন্ড মানসিক অবস্থা, with confusion. She could not decide, সে মনস্থির করতে পারলো না if Samuel really deserved, স্যামুয়েলের সত্যি প্রাপ্য ছিল কিনা the allegations, অভিযোগ made against him, তার বিরুদ্ধে যে অভিযোগ করা হয়েছিল in the letter, চিঠিতে। The more he thought of Samuel, যত বেশি সে স্যামুয়েল সম্পর্কে ভাবলো, the more Swami grieved for him, তত দুঃখিত হতে থাকলো। To recall Samuel's dark face, his thin mustache, unshaven cheek and yellow coat filled Swaminathan with sorrow. Just look at the teacher. Whenever he was thinking of his appearance, yellow coat, unshaven cheek, thin mustache, his face is filled with sorrow. Here also, you can get different types of questions. The first one, father decided to send the headmaster a telegram, notice, letter, report. You must know it is a letter. Next, while going to school, Swami was bothered by কে তাকে আঘাত করতে থাকলো। Conscience, headache, toothache, fever, headache. Next, complete the following sentences. The first one, father's behavior took an unexpected turn. Swami went to school feeling, বলে that's there রয়েছে, that he was the worst boy on the earth. So all these questions are very easy if you understand the text properly. Next, questions. The first one, where did father put the letter? You have to write the answer of the questions in that particular tense in which it is given. It is in past tense. So, father put the letter in an envelope and sealed it. Now, unit 3. Page number 6. As he entered the school gate, an idea occurred to him. He would deliver the letter to the headmaster at the end of the day. There was a chance Samuel might do something during the course of the day to justify the letter. I mean, to make the letter true. ও ভাবলো এখন হেড স্যারকে চিঠিটা দেব না, এই তো আসছি, স্যামুয়েল আজকে আমাকে বকুক মারুক যত রকম শাসন করুক, তাহলে স্যামুয়েলকে নিয়ে লেখা চিঠিটা কিছুটা হলেও অন্তত সত্য প্রমাণিত হবে। স্বামী স্টুড এট দ্য এন্ট্রান্স টু হিজ ক্লাস। ক্লাসে ঢোকার মুখে দাঁড়ালো। স্যামুয়েল ওয়াজ টিচিং অ্যারিথমেটিক। স্যামুয়েল অ্যারিথমেটিক পড়াচ্ছিলেন। লুক এট দিস পিকচার। স্বামী অ্যান্ড স্যামুয়েল আর স্ট্যান্ডিং ফেস টু ফেস। Samuel was teaching arithmetic. He looked at Swami. Swami hoped Samuel would scold him severely. You are half an hour late, Samuel said. I have a headache, sir. Swami said. Then why did you come at all? This was an unexpected question from Samuel. Swami said, my father said, I shouldn't miss school, sir. Samuel looked impressed. Your father is quite right. We want more parents like him. Oh, you poor man. Swami thought you don't know what my father has done to you. All right, go to your seat. Swami sat down, feeling sad. He had never met anyone as good as Samuel. একটু আগে আমি দ্য লাস্ট লেসন সিবিএসসি ক্লাস 12 থেকে যেটা পড়লাম, ওখানেও দেখো একই ভাবনা চিন্তা ভাবা যে এত ভালো মানুষ হয় না। The teacher was inspecting the home lessons. Look at this picture. The teacher was inspecting the home lesson. I mean, the teacher is just looking at the lessons. The students are sitting anxiously. And this time, he is usually very much angry because there are so many mistakes from the students. The teacher was inspecting the home lessons. To Swami's thinking, this was the time when Samuel got most angry, but today Samuel appeared very gentle. আমরা এম হ্যামিলের কথাতেও দেখছিলাম একটু আগে। Swaminathan, where is your homework? I have not done my homework, sir. Swami said. Why? Headache? Asked Samuel. Yes, sir. All right, sit down. Samuel said. When the bell rang for the last period at 4:30, Swami picked up his books and ran to the headmaster's room. He found the room locked. The peon told him the headmaster had gone on a week's sleep. Swaminathan ran away from the place. As soon as he entered home with the letter, father said, I knew you wouldn't deliver it, but the headmaster is on leave. Swami said. Father snatched the letter away. Snatched means took away forcibly the letter away from Swami and tore it up. Don't ever come to me for help. If Samuel scolds you again, you deserve your Samuel, he said. So this is the end of the story. The true realization dawns on Swaminathan. Swaminathan did not actually want to deliver the letter to the headmaster because Swaminathan wanted to be free from such a guilt. True realization regarding his attitude, regarding his education has come to him. The title of this story is Father's Help. I have earlier said, according to Swamiji, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. From this point of view, the teachers are the mediator, the facilitator, the communicator of the classroom. The teachers are the helper. Here, father is the helper. Here, father plays the role of a prominent teacher. That is why father's help in attaining true education is successful. this is the completion of this text, and after this unit, there are some questions also which you must get easily. 7a, when Swami entered his class, Samuel was teaching history, arithmetic, science, geography. You must know it's arithmetic. Next, complete the following sentences with information from the text. As Swami entered the school gate, an idea occurred to him. Next, cause effecte. Effecte there says Swami did not do his homework. What is the cause? Because Swami loafed on Sundays and pretended to have headache. So, if you go through the text properly, if you understand the text properly, there will be not any difficulty to make answer to any question. During Madhyamik examination or other examination, it is intended that your answers should be clear, to the point. It may be straightly picked up from the text, or it may be manufactured with your own creativity. Everything will be given the same credit. So, dear students, I am asking you to understand the text properly, to feel the text, to feel the language, to feel the position, and then go to answer the questions. So, there will be a simultaneous process of feeling, understanding, and using those properly. If we can complete all these processes, we can make good result in the examination. We can get aesthetic pleasure from the text. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thank you.